This is Water Elemental.
With Jolly Green.
And this is the 6th episode of the Hex Shards of Fate podcast, Hexology.
And we're looking forward this week to getting our 10th visitor.
Yay, views! All 10 of them.
Thank you for those of you who actually watch this show. We really appreciate it.
Tell your friends if you have any.
Yeah, we're hoping this show actually kicks off here once it goes into open beta. But, yeah, right now the listeners of this show are probably other people who have the alpha. And there's, only about like 2,500 of those. So
hi, guys.
That's our whole listening audience right there. But, yeah, let's get right into it. They released the finality of the first set. The last 4 cards, the last 3 gems, and the last 2 champions.
Yes, these champions were working at the beginning of the alpha, but they removed them. Now they're back and ready to rock. So we'll go over all of that. As well as there's some other interesting tidbits. They opened up the store for testing.
Yes, they actually made that icon clickable, and you can use your 4,000 free platinum if you have the beta to buy things and open packs.
Yeah, it has no use whatsoever since you have everything opened up, and even the cards don't even go into your collection. It's just there to test the pack opening system to see if there's any bugs and stuff like that. So don't hoard those platinum. I feel that they're just going to be there and then they're going to go away as soon.
But what if I keep all my platinum?
It's probably going to get wiped.
No, I want to keep it for beta.
It's probably going to get wiped.
Oh, yeah.
It's testing It's testing money. It's like that fake money that you get at like the dollar store and you give to your kids and they become like little cashiers.
I played poker with that and it's worth something to me.
So let's kick things off with the patch notes. They're talking about the new interface that they added. Everything's been cleaned up, polished, all sorts of really nice changes to it. The deck building UI is a little bit clunkier, I feel. It's a lot harder to get through cards.
Only because it doesn't have a scroll wheel.
It doesn't have a scroll wheel. It doesn't let me use my scroll wheel. And it's a little bit harder to search through colors.
Honestly, but if you're going to be looking through an entire set or an entire color, use the search tool. Refine what you need to refine.
Meh.
Who's going to be looking through an entire set and be like, oh, I cannot do this?
I look through entire sets to see if there's any cards I want to build around.
Yeah, you're one of those.
Yeah, I am one of those. And I build really crappy decks because of it.
Only because they're, bugged out and they don't actually work.
If they worked, they'd be decent. You know that.
I know. I played a game against you recently where you had,
8,000 nothing.
A bunch of Briarthorn guys, and luckily they didn't work. They just didn't work, and I ended up still winning the game somehow. So that's that. But they made it so that instead of having 30 minutes per game in each tournament match, it's going to be 30 minutes for an entire match.
So play a little bit faster, guys. Keep that in mind that you're going to be playing on a 30-minute clock. So
for constructed, I can see how that might be an issue, but for limited, you're not making, massive combos or huge synergistic plays here. It's limited. If you're lucky enough to have a deck like that, well, then congratulations. Play faster.
Now for the new cards, we're going to be talking about the last one. Some of these we've seen before.
Time Bug was one of the cards that they actually released on the Kickstarter.
And it was one of the ones that if you go to the artifacts page on their website, that was one of the ones featured.
It was one of the main artifacts that they toted, and it just looks awesome.
This is one of the cards that was like, okay, I'm ready for this game to come out. Time Bug is a 2-cost 1/1 artifact troop insect that says Flight. Shuffle 2 Time Bugs you control that dealt damage to an opposing champion this turn into your deck. Take an additional turn after this one.
Taking turns is always good.
And seems like it'd be something that could happen frequently if you built the right kind of deck. For a 2-cost 1/1 flyer?
Not to mention all the clones.
Yeah. Reflection, clone.
The 3-cost generic artifact that turns into a new artifact every turn.
Yeah, Doppel artifact.
Yeah, it just... Time Bugs, you can build a deck around this. I'm not sure how viable it would be, but I'd try it.
It's a 2-cost 1/1 artifact that has an effect if you can get it off, so it could be in some artifact circles.
Yeah. Also, another note, all 4 of these cards, they look like they have very complex mechanics. I mean, math-wise and coding-wise, I can understand why these are the 4 ones that have come up last. So, next up we have the Darkspire Princess. She is a Blood 2/1 Orc Mage troop When this troop dies, choose one at random. It deals 3 damage to each opposing champion. Or, search your deck for a troop with Darkspire in its name and put it into your hand. I mean, not bad for 2. 1 threshold.
I'm trying to think of what Darkspire cards are in the first set. I haven't seen any that really, like, click.
I also would have to look it up, but even if it's only Darkspire Mage...
That's still, you get to pretty much block with the 2/1.
Yeah, and she comes back to your hand, thins your deck so you can get the better stuff. I see no problem with that card at all, and it's a common.
Yeah, and if you can do it right where you have effects on those cards, that brings them into your hand faster.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of a plus. Pheromones. It is a 1-cost, green threshold basic action. Target troop gets opposing troops must block this troop if able this turn. So essentially it makes your opponents be taunted.
It's a 1-turn lure.
Yes, so you have to, pretty much, if you want to be very defensive, you give it to an indestructible 9/9 creature, he swings in and everybody has to block it.
I don't know. Lure in Magic was a 2 green and 1 enchantment, and it was kind of the staple with this sort of mechanic on it. 1 cost for 1 turn seems really good.
Really good.
It says all your other troops, aside from this one, are unblockable this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as I know, there's no card that can block multiple creatures this turn, so Pheromones is good.
Very good. It makes me happy to see that there's some basic actions that are able to help thin out your opponent's board in Wild like that.
And this is a good basic action. It doesn't need to be a quick action. There's no benefit to that, really.
And it's flavor text.
Aww.
It's 2 hippos. Look at the 2 little hippos. You're like...
With a little chickadee on top. It's...
Aww.
They about to get down.
They about to get hip-hop and hippopotamus. And finally, take it away. Your turn.
This card. I want to break this card so bad. I just don't know how. His name is Reginald Lancashire. He is a 3/3 3/3 ruby troop, 1 threshold. When Reginald deals damage to an opposing champion, shuffle him into their deck, and he gains a permanent. When Reginald enters your hand or graveyard, he destroys you. Then each champion draws 3 cards.
I say, what does it mean by destroy you?
I don't know. What's the point of drawing the 3 cards after you've been destroyed?
Better chance of drawing him, my good sir. Because what they explained is, if he destroys you, you lose the game. You straight up lose the game.
I go back to my previous question. Why bother drawing 3 cards after the game is over?
No.
This is for multiplayer?
No. He goes back into your deck,
Yeah.
he gains the effect, and then you draw 3 cards.
Oh, I completely read him wrong.
So, pretty much, he goes into your opponent's deck, and then he draws cards, so you have 3 chances of drawing him in that, effect.
I misplaced where the quotation mark goes. That is all. So, this card makes... I don't know.
Deck?
Mill deck.
Scary.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what other to say than just splash Ruby in blue
He
blood.
has to connect, though.
Yeah, so?
It's a little bit harder to do in a blue deck.
You can give people flight.
Oh, that's right. The flight. I forgot.
Blue does things with flight, and I believe there's a way to give fear or intimidate, whatever. I don't know what the keyword is. I don't even know if it has a keyword.
Unblockable. It's just right now.
Yeah. No, there is a fear mechanic. Can only be blocked by the same color and artifacts. So, I mean, I guess you would call that intimidate.
It doesn't have a keyword yet, but there are a couple of cards out there that...
Anyway, this card would not be very good in a mono-red, in even any aggressive deck at all.
Because you're giving your opponent cards in the end of the game. In the end, because you're like, okay, we'll both draw 3.
Well, I mean, you're using this guy for his immediate win. He's a win condition. But it's not a win condition that fits with either aggressive strategies or anything even mid-range.
Yeah, it's
got to be combo or mill.
Yeah, for a Ruby card, it doesn't fit. But at the same time,
No, but it fits Human Rogue.
Yeah.
You think Human Rogue, you're like, okay, yeah, he's just going to backstab you. It's got heck of a lot of flavor to it.
Please tell me that he gets a special, voice shout-out when you draw him. On God! And then you just hear swordplay, and then the win screen shows up. Aha! I win!
How humiliating would that be to top deck this card? Just be like, really? No. Anyway.
All right, I need the win. I need the win. Instant loss.
It's a legendary rare, too, so...
He might be a poker rare in the end of the day, but...
I don't know. There might be a way.
You know, keep an eye on these cards, because they might not sound good now, but it's always been a tradition in card games where the card that everybody forgets has some small detail to it that will make it overpowered in the future by another
I
card.
can name quite a few cards that have insane win conditions, but they end up being poker rares in the end.
Cranial extraction. No, it's Spinal Tap?
The Door to Nothing.
The Door to Nothing.
Or the one that it's like an artifact in a Magic that you pay a whole bunch of mana and
You win the game.
you just win the game.
There was a bug that is currently on the alpha right now where if you mulligan, sometimes it doesn't draw the correct amount or it doesn't display cards correctly. That's something they're working on right now. So if you have that bug, it is addressed. They're trying to work on it right now, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's bad enough you have to mulligan in the first place. When it comes back that you get less cards than you intended.
All right, I'm going to go to 6. Nope, 4.
Oh, awesome. That was a terrible mulligan. I guess I'm keeping.
Looks like I drew 2 cards after 7-card mulligan. Alpha is alpha. What can you say about that?
What are these new gems all about?
So we have 3 new gems. I'm not sure if they're major or minor. You'll have to check in the in-game menu. I'm still patching as we speak. The first one is Ruby of Flames. It is a 2 ruby threshold. This troop cannot be blocked except by artifact troops and or troops that share a shard with it.
Okay, yep, Intimidate. That's what I was looking at. So, this seems very potent.
Yes.
I'm guessing this is going to be a major. Because before, the default choice for red was going to either be deal the damage or speed.
Yeah.
And this just seems good.
Yeah, because there's that Cerberus or Hellhound that is pretty much, it has a major socket on it. And giving it, okay, it's going to deal 5 to you this turn, and you're not going to be able to stop it. Because you used to put speed on it. But now, you put that on there, it may not be able to attack this turn, but it's going to swing in hard.
Yeah, and it has a very low defensive stat, so this keeps it on the board. Next up, we have the Blood Orb of Deception. It's a 2 blood threshold. It says when this troop becomes blocked by a troop, that troop gets a permanent -1/-1.
Ooh, wow, that is very potent.
Nah, really? You think so?
Well, it's permanent. It's not until end of turn, so if you're blocking...
if somebody's blocking, damage is going to be dealt, and something is going to die either way. And if it's neither, I don't... That means your guy's dying if you want this effect to be, useful.
Yeah, it can hurt certain decks, though.
I mean, there's of course the chance that they could both just trade and still live, but that doesn't happen a whole heck of a lot. I think this is actually one of the weaker ones, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see how what cards can synergize well with the blood.
I don't know, because I'm kind of spoiled. Infect is a deck that I used to play a lot in Magic, and this mechanic pales in comparison to what that was. So.
And finally, we have Sapphire of Mischief. It is a 2 Sapphire threshold. You may play this troop at any time you can play a quick action.
Yep. Gives it speed.
It gives it quick action speed. And that is very scary, especially with a lot of blue and blood threshold cards. Because it's like, okay, we have this, really nice flying blocker creature. It's going to be in play at the end of your turn, and it's going to swing. Or it's going to come into play block, and then trade out, and you didn't expect it.
Yeah, or if it has a neat activated ability. End of your turn. Ooh, my turn.
Oh,
Neat. Hey! I can use him now. You didn't have a quick action to answer him? Man,
well.
That sucks.
Fiddlesticks.
It's also one of the better ones I've seen. Actually, it's the best blue one, in my opinion. It's the best Sapphire gem. It's got to be major, right?
Gotta be major.
It's gotta be.
There's no way they'd make that minor.
Also, next up, they re-added Tizot and Bunjitsu. Tezet, son of Omok, he is a Ruby-based champion. He says Ruby, basic speed 6 charges, reveal the top 10 cards of your deck, create a rock elemental, and it gets a permanent XX for each resource revealed this way. Put that rock elemental into play, shuffle the revealed cards back into your deck.
Now, when the game first came out, I was trying to find ways to make this card useful with Inspire. because it would come into play. I wasn't able to actually test and see if this would work because he was removed later on. So this would be really good with any Inspire deck or cards that synergize well with cards coming into play.
I believe Inspire says when you play it now. They reworded it since we were looking at this at first. So I don't believe it actually works with tokens, and this does not count as playing it.
Because creating is just kind of, it just slides on the board.
Puts it into play rather than actually playing the card, paying the resources for it.
And then there is the other one, Bunjutsu. It is a 2-blood threshold, basic action for 5 charges. Void 2 ready troops you control. Create an abomination with attack equal to 3 plus their combined attack and defense equal to 3 plus their combined defense, and put this card into play exhausted. So if you have 2, smaller cards and you need 1 big heavy hitter, you sacrifice them. They get +3 and their combined attack, and they're put into play exhausted.
It's a novel concept. It basically combines 2 guys, makes it 3 bigger, but you have to do 2 ready troops, and the abomination comes into play exhausted. So you're losing potentially 2 blockers for that turn, and you only get 1 back.
Even with hoppers, it would become a 3/5.
I'm trying to think of something you would want to use this for that would make it broken, but then again, none of
creatures
these...
that hit the graveyard.
Possibly. But
Well, are they removed? Or are they...
void them, so you don't get any sacrificial hopper.
Yeah. Only thing I can really see this being useful is cards that synergize with when a creature is sacrificed.
Actually, no. 2 battle hoppers.
Yeah, becomes a 3/5.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Battle hoppers are garbage late game if you already have control of the board anyway, so why not? And it's blood, so obviously you're going to be playing this in a... Yeah.
Yeah, because blood has a lot of battle hoppers. So that's where I can see it being useful. It depends.
Well, its name is Bunjutsu. I'm guessing it's a rabbit, right?
No.
The last time I saw
it's an orc.
the avatars for the champions, they weren't active, and all you got to see was just that wolf chick for everything. So, yeah, it's a rabbit. It's got to be.
In other kind of quality of life changes, one card we talked about last week actually got changed.
I know, right? I kind of like to feel that maybe a developer listened to our show and was like, oh, oops, we should probably add that one keyword. So, Mirror Knight.
Yep, Chromatic Mirror Knight now has Inspire.
He is Inspire!
Yeah! There was no reason he shouldn't have been Inspired to begin with. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing
at least test him as Inspire. Why not?
So, yeah, we have a small victory here. Congratulations.
Congratulations, we did it. And I actually bug reported it to them, so I don't know.
I wonder if a lot of people did, because that's one of those things where it's like...
It's like, it just makes too much sense. It's painful looking at this card knowing that he's not Inspire, but that effect is word for word Inspire. That's pretty much it, so I feel accomplished.
And the other one that really kind of makes a difference is Chimes of the Zodiac is now unique. So you can't have more than one in play.
Is that the one that copy spells?
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I mean, you feel like you already won the game if your deck is built around it and it's in play anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because you could clone it with artifacts, and that might just get out of hand. And...
So, like we mentioned earlier, they opened up the shop for testing so we can open booster packs. And how do you feel? How does opening a pack feel to you?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Because you have free money right now. And you just kind of... When I think of other games that make you open up stuff, it always feels satisfying opening like a Dota 2 chest, or opening a crate from Team Fortress 2, or... You know, if you get a random item from League of Legends, there's a lot of animations to it. There's a lot of cool stuff going on with it. There's like the water spinning, and then it doesn't just reveal everything at once. It kind of cascades down.
And then you actually have to click on the rare to reveal the rare.
Yeah. It feels good. You get to kind of see what's going on.
I like it. I actually like it a lot. I just don't want to use it a whole lot because I don't want to ruin the majesty of it all, you know? Because right now you're playing with house money, and none of the cards matter. You get a mythic rare now. Like, knowing my luck, I'd pull up all the beast rares immediately on the alpha and the beta. But when it comes to real life, I'm just rolling nothing but poker rares.
Nothing.
That's how my luck works. I buy a case of Magic cards once my entire life. The set is garbage. The whole set has one money card in it.
Yeah,
that's how things work for me.
Well, wasn't that it wasn't Innistrad? It was
it was the second
Dissension.
It was the second in Innistrad block. second set.
Yeah, I remember you got me one for my for Christmas too, and we're sitting there and just like, oh boy, more garbage. And along with opening packs, you have a rare chance. I'm not sure if this is actually in the alpha to get kind of a mega pack.
Slot machine bonus game.
Well, not besides the slot machine bonus game. This is essentially what is known as a God pack. This was kind of termed after a error in Versus system where
this is more of an inside kind of terminology, because there was this card game, my favorite card game in existence actually, Versus system, where one of our good friends bought an entire box, cracks the first pack.
No commons, no uncommons.
No commons, no uncommons, an entire pack of rares.
15 rares. And this is essentially what these God packs are going to be. They're going to only have a rare chance of happening if you open a pack, but you'll get a common, uncommon, or just rares and mythics. Just pure. It's just, you will get extremely good cards out of the pack.
Now that would feel great.
Oh, I bet. There's also kind of like a slot machine. I haven't been able to trigger it yet. I'm still kind of working and seeing if we can get it to trigger right now. But every now and again, like a slot machine will pop up and you hit it and you can get certain things like extra packs, card enchants, alternate arts, all sorts of cool stuff like that. I doubt we're going to have alternate arts in the game right now. They're still working on getting the main cards in.
Yeah, but I can see it happening in the future.
I'm always up for ways to get alternate arts. Make my cards feel special.
It was one of my favorite things about actually having the physical cards, showing off your sweet either player reward or tournament based alternate arts.
And that's really it for the main patch. There's not much else going on. They're having a Hex draft tournament right now with a lot of devs and stuff like that on the alpha as we're kind of recording. I kind of been watching them chat, and it looks like they're having some fun. We were watching them talk about how they kept breaking the draft mode, and they kept interrupting our game while we were trying to record.
Yeah, you might see this in either a previous episode or a current episode.
I think I accidentally deleted it, and I shouldn't have because
that's a bummer, because we're trying to play a game for footage for the show, and it keeps interrupting us with like, okay, sorry, tournament servers are down, and like every 30 seconds we'd be getting an update. It's like, well, they care.
Yeah.
But bad timing.
Corey seemed to have disconnected from our servers. He'll be right back.
Yeah. They actually did that.
So it was kind of nice to see that. Also, 2 days, probably on the 1st, Slacker backers will not be available anymore. So if you want to have your friends hop in and get a Slacker backer kickstarted in so we can play sooner or later when the Slacker backers come out, have them do it now, because between them, there's going to be a large period of time where you're not going to be able to get in.
Yeah, it comes to an end April 1st, so that's tomorrow as we're recording this. So if you're listening to this, it's probably too late. Sucks to be you. Go home.
Speaking of the Slacker backer, I don't think we actually covered these two cards that are
No,
in
we
the
never
Slacker.
did. They were released early, but
I don't think they're actually in the set. So, there are two cards with the Slacker backer, now that we're going to talk about it, that are exclusive to anybody that got the game. The first one is a Princess Curry. It's a 6-cost 1/1 human princess. Keep that in mind.
with a beard.
With a beard. If Princess Corey is in your opening hand, she gets a permanent 6/6. When Princess Corey deals damage to an opposing champion, create that many random legendary troops and put it into play.
What does it mean, legendary troops? I mean, of course this is not going to get played, but
It's essentially you get any legendary card.
Oh.
Like rarity.
Wow.
Randomly.
Okay, so what's the fork in the birthday cake?
Those
mean?
are
those
the-
gems, or
These are equipment cards for PvP.
Oh my gosh!
This is something they haven't implemented yet, but this is something that they teased a while ago. And it just, we won't talk about them because we're not sure if they're final or not, but that's the standalone card. Hopefully that gets into the game here soon.
Yes, the advertised equipment is a fundraising fork, and it's a rare. When Princess Corey enters play, get a Replicator's Gambit and put it into your hand. It loses all threshold.
What?
What's a...
Replicator's Gambit's the 1-cost blue, put it into your deck, draw a card, and then if you play that card, it creates 6 of them.
Oh, yeah, and it loses threshold.
So you
Wow.
can just...
Okay.
And then Birthday Cake! Discard Princess Corey, create a random legendary troop, and put it into your hand. It loses all threshold. What the hell?
That card is going to be fun. The other card we want to talk about is the hexHOWLcom. Now, it's a 2-cost artifact. It says pay 1, some symbol I don't recognize. Create a random card and put it into the hexHOWLcom. Pay X, other random symbol again. Sacrifice this artifact. Remove the threshold from all cards in the hexHOWLcom and put them into your hand. X is equal to the number of cards in the hexHOWLcom.
So pretty much you just create random cards. And
What is that symbol?
I think that's their old tap or exhaust.
Think so? Oh, yeah, because it's got like a vertical card transposed beneath thing.
It looks like it's a briefcase.
Something. I don't know. This is one of the first cards they ended up releasing, so they've come a long way since then. It's already fun to see how far they've come.
Yeah, it's still the old layout, but I can't wait. Please let us test these, please. I want to build a hexHOWLcom deck and just be like random creatures.
Yeah, the mechanics on this would be very hard to code.
And there are 2 equipments for this one: the Ardent Tunic and the Underworld Tunic. And each one allows for you to create only specific creatures of that faction. So one of them will only create Ardent, the other one will only create Underworld, and it's supposed to symbolize the shirts they came out with when the game was first kickstarted, that I should have bought a shirt ahead of time.
I know.
I kind of regret not getting one now, because they were like, oh yeah, but I'm like, I don't know anything about the game yet, so I can't
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to be like limited edition or anything. So.
Yeah, I don't know. There might be on eBay.
Watch. Those are going to be collector's item t-shirts that sell for quite a bit of money.
And finally, one thing is we found out what the VIP program is going to be. The VIP program will include 1 free booster pack per week, access to exclusive tournaments, and deck tools.
Okay. Is this something like I get a free booster draft a week? I mean, did you see this in any other aspect of the Kickstarter?
No.
Or is this going to be like part of a subscription thing?
I know that the VIP program is going to be a subscription-based thing, where it's just going to be like you have your normal free-to-play, you can pay however much, or you can have the VIP program, which I don't know how much it's going to cost, but it's going to give you benefits, but it's not going to be game-changing. Free pack a week. There's $2 there for, let's say, if it's a monthly fee at 200 platinum. I'm guessing it's probably going to be $2. That's $6 right there. Plus, depending on what the deck tools are, and if you're going to be playing in exclusive tournaments, and that's your thing, that's a benefit. I know everybody's going to get a year of it if you kickstart it. Woo! Woo! Party hard!
Other than that, I'm ready to just get down and peruse the whole set, create some new decks, and smash them into people.
Yep. So, it only can go cooler from here. We have all the basic cards in-game, except for promotional cards and alternate art. That means we will have only new and interesting things to try out. Dungeons, all sorts of stuff. Hopefully we get to start seeing some lore and
this is one of the major steps we needed to get to the beta. So, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So with that, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please share it. You don't have to subscribe, anything like that. Just, tell your friends that we're out here and we are backing a game that isn't even out yet, and we're praising it like it is Buddha.
Anyway, if we get that 10th visitor, that 10th new viewer,
we will have a dance party.
We're going to have a prize. I'm going to give you a gift of the breath from my lungs.
Oh, you looked at me like it's like, I will give you a video of me punching water elemental in the nuts.
Well, I can do that too. Let me know which one you want.
If you guys have any questions for us, if you guys have any comments, any deck lists, anything like that, please send it to us in the comment section down below. Email at us at spasgaming@gmail.com or get it on our Facebook page. All the links are down below.
Honestly, at this point, if you give us feedback in any way, we'll mention you on the show.
And then there'll be like confetti.
Yeah, I mean, you could be the first person by episode 7.
We're just trying to think of stuff to pad the show out. But anyways, this has been Water Elemental.
And Jolly Green.
And we'll see you guys next time.